high country of North Carolina can be a winter wonderland. Hello everyone, I'm Paula McKenna and welcome to this wintry edition of Appalachian Weekly News.
And I'm Noah Cornelius. Many think the mountains are a fun place during peak season in the fall or even in the cool summer months, but winter time is a special time here in the high country. Because we have what many other places in North Carolina don't, snow. And because of that, the high country is known as a snowtropolis. 3 major ski slopes in the area dominate the conversation. And our correspondents Connor Boyle, Paula, and Carson Williams will examine all of them. But we'll begin with one that sounds a bit like it's near the ocean. Of course, we're talking about Beech Mountain.
After a long year, winter has finally arrived, so for many around the high country, it's time to hit the slopes. And if you consider yourself a daredevil, Beech Mountain Resort is the perfect place for you. With a peak elevation of 5,506 feet, Beech Mountain Resort has the highest ski slopes in the high country. The ski slopes take year-round preparation, and it is not an easy process.
It's a very labor-intensive, long-term process. It's not just like turnkey, flip the switch. We've been making snow on our tubing area since early October, and that's a big process. You know, you need water. You capitalize on those short pockets of cold weather that we've been getting, and we make big piles of snow, and then we groom and push those snow piles around.
Even if you're not there for skiing, snowboarding, or sledding, Beech Mountain may still have something for you.
So I think the amenities here are really unmatched, and I think that's why college students like yourself love Beech Mountain Resort. So we've got the brewery, we've got our large taproom and grill, our music venue, really just the party scene here, and it's just laid back and fun, and the vibes here are just different.
The Beech Mountain staff says the high country is family, and that's reflected in all the work it does, as well as plenty of deals and discounts.
Our community is everything to us. Giving back to particularly Appalachian State is everything to us. We give a lot back to local nonprofit organizations and really just try to make sure that our mountains are here for years to come. So we've got a lot of incredible discounts for Appalachian State students, faculty, and staff. And we also have our very popular student night on Tuesday, $15. Wednesday is men's night, $15. And Thursday, you can get a ladies' night ticket for $15.
The slopes are obviously the highlight of Beech Mountain, but if you're anything like me, you prefer to spend your time at the Beech Mountain Brewing Company or at the new cafe that Beech Mountain has just opened up. Now let's throw it to Paula McKenna and see how she's braving the cold.
I have never skied a day in my life, so I took the opportunity to come to the closest ski slope to Appalachian State University. Let's see how it goes. Even if you have no experience with skiing, App Ski Mountain has something for you. In fact, they're home to the French-Swiss Ski College.
It was started here in 1969, taught over 1.5 million people to ski here. It's best ski school in the region. We've created a lot of southern skiers over that 54, 55 years now.
App Ski is not only for beginners. Veteran skiers come from far away to also admire what the resort has to offer.
I've skied probably 9 of the top 10 North American ski slopes in the country. I love this particular mountain because they're so friendly, they're so accommodating. It's well organized, the trails are great. For a small mountain, it's perfect if you want to come out and ski for a little bit during the day.
The high country is charming during each season for different reasons. The snow-draped slopes in the area bring a lot of people up the mountain.
I could go on and on about what's special about this place. So, you know, it's a family-run resort, so it's obviously like a lot of care and emphasis is made on making every detail as nice as possible for our guests. We're known as the place to ski and snowboard, so if you've never been before, that's kind of our specialty. We pride ourselves in teaching people, you know, a sport that they can carry on for a lifetime.
I don't know why they call it fake snow, because it is real and it is cold, and you can see it here at App Ski Mountain. So if you're in the Appalachian region and you want to make some memories with some friends and family, head on over to App Ski.
I think that we saved the best for last. Sugar Mountain here in the high country is a winter wonderland for skiers and snowboarders alike.
The fun just begins when the winter season steps up, because it's one of the few activities that you can really have fun at and enjoy and get exercise and be outside. That's skiing and snowboarding or ice skating or tubing. So I say the fun just begins when the snow falls or the calendar turns to November.
Now, if you liked what Kim had to say about winter here in the high country, I may have just the place for you skiers and snowboarders out there.
You know, Sugar Mountain has been here since 1969, and we've grown with the community. We've been sort of an economic engine in the wintertime for the economy. It's terrific to be a part of the high country community. We've got incredible black diamond, double black diamond slopes. We've got some great cruisers. So we've got everything. There's really no limit to your ability or your age. So come on out.
Recommendations are perfect.
Beginner or expert, child or adult, Sugar Mountain Ski Resort has something for everybody, near and far.
I've been waiting 7 months for this. I drove up here from Florida, 9.5 hours up. Couldn't be any more excited than this. Sugar has the most variety, and as far as making that 10-hour drive, we feel like we're gonna get the best bang for our buck, the best bang for our time. When we come here, we have like the time of our life. There's nothing around here that comes close to Sugar.
We'll take you behind the scenes of the Appalachian Theater, a story that dates back nearly 75 years.
Grab some popcorn because you don't want to miss this.
Whether you are a local resident or an App State student, everyone loves going out with friends and having some good laughs. Part of the fun are the restaurants in town that host weekly game nights in the high country. And one of those locations gets a handful of electronic media broadcasting students from App State. Paula knows it very well, Lost Province. Lucas Warren gives us a closer look at the Lost Province Trivia Night in this edition of High Country Business.
King Street is home to many memorable landmarks, including my buddy Doc Watson here. But if you look a little past Doc and his bench, you'll find Lost Province, a restaurant serving up wood-fire pizza, house-brewed beer, and trivia every Wednesday night.
Hello everyone, it is trivia night. The winners from last week chose SpongeBob. So, whether or not you know SpongeBob, come on up and see me.
I'm sure you have some preconceived notions about trivia games. And when you hear that SpongeBob is the first round, it's probably safe to assume it's a pretty casual event. But you'd be mistaken.
Personally, I've taken it pretty serious. We've put an organization together and we're trying to get some championships, trying to get some hardware.
Championships and hardware? That's some pretty serious claims from a member of a trivia team, but he has the hardware to back it up.
My name is Cody Bear, and I am the team captain of the Goofy Goobers, 7-time champs at Lost Province Trivia.
Even though the winner only receives ring pops, winning means something to every member of the Goofy Goobers.
My favorite memory is probably winning our first one, because it took a while. We had gotten the coupon for the free pizza, but being able to actually come away as champs felt really, really good.
Lost Province customers aren't the only ones aiming for the first place prize. Most of the staff is as well.
My name is Ryan. I worked at Lost Province about a year and a half. I work in the kitchen as a shift lead. I think trivia's been going on before I started, but we started participating a couple months ago. Usually, if someone was at the bar and they were playing, we'd give them answers, but then it turned into we want our own team, like we want to win.
But they don't want to just win.
There's always those other groups that come in, like the regulars, and they win every week, and we just gotta dethrone them, you know?
Staff versus customer? SpongeBob and ring pops? Lost Province Trivia seems to be all over the place. But let's get the rules from the host herself.
I'm Paula McKenna and I host trivia at Lost Province. First round is winner's choice. Second round, I kind of just compile a bunch of random stuff. Third round is a list round. Then we have another random trivia. Then we have a picture round, and then the final round, just a whole, 10 random questions.
After 6 hard-fought rounds of trivia, the top 3 teams are announced and receive a coupon for free pizza as a reward. The groups outside of the top 3, unfortunately, go home empty-handed.
I think I went 0 for 10 in that round. Like, I better tap out now before I embarrass myself and these boys too much.
Even though there are winners and losers, Paula hopes everyone enjoys themselves.
My favorite part, it's definitely the people who come back every week, because when I first did it, a lot of random people came, and then some people became regulars, but then a lot of people from the majors started coming. It means more to me than what I thought I did, because we don't talk throughout the week, but you still come. Like, granted, it's probably not for me, it's to hang out with each other, but I enjoy it. Coming out of winter break, there will be plenty of things to do to kick off the new year. Starting off in West Jefferson, there will be a Dance Through the Decades event on January 12th at the Lakey Ballroom.
I'm also looking at the Dan Tominski Band, which will be performing at the Appalachian Theater on January 13th. Dan has won 14 Grammy Awards for his bluegrass music and has worked with heavy hitters like Reba McEntire, Brad Paisley, Willie Nelson, and Dolly Parton.
For all you App State students wanting to get involved with a club or find your people, the Winter Club Expo will be going on at the Holmes Convocation Center on January 24th. More information can be found on App State Engage.
And from January 25th to the 28th, head on out to Blowing Rock Winterfest for a beer garden, a winter feast, and something I would do if I wasn't graduating, a polar plunge.
There is always something happening at the Appalachian Theater. The building itself is iconic and serves as a symbol for downtown Boone. The theater itself has a long history, and the story is one that continues to impact the community. I got the chance to uncover what makes the beautiful building so special.
It's alive, it's breathing, it's vibrant. There's an energy and excitement within the walls every time we open the front door. It's just palpable.
When people travel to Boone, there is one building that shines brighter than any other.
So built in 1938, it was mostly a film venue. Fast forward to 1950, things are kind of swimming along, doing great here at the theater. But then in 1950, we have the great popcorn fire of the Appalachian Theater, and that shuts down the theater for 5 months. Around the 70s and 80s, we start to really see a decline, and it turns into a second-run dollar theater, $1.50, $2. Through the 80s, fast forward once again to 2007, the theater shuts down and is purchased by a Florida developer who guts the entire place and is going to turn it into a nightclub.
Thankfully, the historic theater was given another chance. The nightclub idea fell through, and it allowed the town to come to the rescue.
Well, John Cooper was the catalyst for all of this coming to place. He found out that it was going to be auctioned on the courthouse steps, and so we wanted to buy it in foreclosure. And he put together a Save the Appalachian Theater task force. We met at the public library, about 100 folks, including Doc Watson, who sat across the aisle from me, who said he'd be happy to lend his name to the fundraising effort for the theater.
In 2012, it's established as a nonprofit, and we start raising money to fix the place back up. $10 million later, we reopen in 5 months before COVID in 2019. Now we're up and running in a way that I think a lot of other people had no idea we would be able to.
It's an intergenerational experience here at the App Theater. And the timing is just perfect. There's something each season of the year.
As the winter months get colder, you can cozy up in a historic theater in downtown Boone. They have plenty of movies and live events too.
But keep in mind, we're inheriting and perpetuating a tradition of excellence that dates back over 85 years to 1938. So we're the temporary custodians. The theater's going to be here long after we're gone. But we've kind of breathed new life into the nostrils of a sleeping giant, and that's the Appalachian Theater.
Depending on the time of year, the Appalachian Theater offers different types of shows. During Halloween, they have a month full of horror films. During the transition between Halloween and Christmas, they show some movie classics while getting ready for the season. The Appalachian Theater also puts on live performances. Whether it's seeing Elvis live in the flesh or future Rockettes, the Appalachian Theater is prepared.
If I'm looking for something to do, I would love for a first default would be to, why don't we see what's going on at the Appalachian Theater? Because I just think it's a gem, and to have it right here in the middle of town, within walking distance, makes it super convenient, and I'd love for that to happen.
Location, location, as they say in real estate. When it opened in 1938 and 5 movies a week, it was the place to be. I like to think of the Appalachian Theater as the community's living room.
We've got plenty more to come on the winter edition of AWN,
including something that might be just a little more family-oriented. Judson Maid contemplates going snow tubing at one of the coolest destinations during any season in the high country. We invite you to go right along. It's time to channel our inner Chevy Chase, so if you're looking for a fun, old-fashioned family winter in the high country, we've got you covered. Let's be real, skiing could be a daunting task for some, including myself, but just about anyone can go snow tubing. Judson Maid takes us on a trip down to Hawks Nest Snow Tubing.
Many families are heading up the mountain for some high country winter fun. One of the largest attractions is Hawks Nest Snow Tubing. Originally opening as a ski slope back in the 60s, Hawks Nest shifted its focus to a different area of entertainment.
So by going all in on the snow tubing, we now are, we don't compete with them. We're much bigger than everybody else. We're one of the top 5 in the country as far as size goes.
It's more than just its size that puts Hawks Nest at that mark. It's the snow tubing mecca in the high country, with 4 different areas accessible with more than 30 lanes in use. Snow tubing is available for all ages and is great for a full day of family fun. With no experience required, you can just grab a tube and head on down.
This is my first time coming here. It's been super fun. We go down the hill. I did it on my stomach a couple times and like sitting down a few times, and it's been really fun. I picked up a lot of speed. My boyfriend pushed me down the hill, so I got really fast for a while.
You can expect it to be quite busy, as not only those from the high country are making the trip, but others from all around as well.
We came here from Charlotte. We're here with my dental office as the office Christmas trip. So, that's what they wanted to do this year, and so we came.
Once you reach the bottom of your tubing run, Hawks Nest has you covered with a conveyor belt style lift to help bring you back up to the top. And what happens when it isn't snowing? There are numerous snowblowing machines, much like you see at ski slopes, to make sure you get the ultimate experience. Tubing sessions occur every 2 hours throughout the day with a break in between each session. During this time, you can head inside to the gift shop, offering apparel and souvenirs for all. Further along, visit the Picture Depot to capture your thrilling visit for a lifetime. Hungry after a long day of tubing? Hawks Nest Cafe has you covered with coffee and other delicious sweets to hold you over before the next session begins. The whole snow tubing experience looked way too fun for me to not enjoy it, so I decided to give it a try myself.
Of the 4 different areas at Hawks Nest Tubing to go, we're currently going down lane 1. Hawks Nest will be open until the spring thaw. Until then, we're having loads of fun. Woo!
Well, Jensen sure looked like he had some fun doing that. Maybe I should have changed stories with him because I'm a bit jealous.
He's clearly having fun, but the winter months mean it's indoor track season for App State. And a former star athlete still working with the team has aspirations of making it to the Olympics. But while going for gold is the mantra by which Jada Branch lives by, she's also encountered many hurdles along the way.
I was born in Fort Stewart, Georgia. The majority of my life was spent in Germany. After I graduated, finished off my middle school and high school years, we all moved back to the States. I ended up getting recruited to run track and field at Louisiana Tech University in Ruston, Louisiana.
Risking it all for a dream to be great. Jada Branch is giving her all to accomplish her goals.
In my time at Louisiana Tech, after my things kind of started getting a little rocky once they hired, new staffing, and the staff wanted to kind of do things their own way. And in that time of revamping how they wanted things to be, I kind of got dealt the short end of the stick. I ended up getting taken out of my recruiting event, which was triple jump. They strictly put me as a 400-meter runner. And I was like, you know, trying to be optimistic, but then things just kind of started taking a turn for the worse. You know, kind of being fed empty promises of when I would hit the pit again and like jumping again, and being told that like I'd never make nationals, and kind of basically being told like either you do what we tell you or you can leave.
While dealing with the confusion, Jada was forced to endure even more through a couple of near tragedies.
I was in a near fatal accident with my sister. Not even a month later, I was in another near fatal accident. And this time it was me and my two homegirls. Felt like I was at my wit's end, like I was on the verge of just like completely giving up. In that time of like, why? I found my why. I reminded myself of my why, and that was to be great, to continue on my journey of growth. And despite all those things that were happening to me, that was a part of my growth journey. And so I had to make the best decision for myself before making a decision that I would ultimately regret for the rest of my life.
Enter Boone, North Carolina, home of Appalachian State University. It is known for overcoming many challenges, and for more than 100 years, its college athletics program has achieved a rich history across all disciplines. Track and field director Damian McLean has been with the program for more than 20 years as an athlete and a coach. After Jada transferred to App, he began to instill a vision with Jada to help her soar to the top.
And that's when I got connected with Coach McLean at App State. And immediately he was like, okay, what's up? What do you want to do? And I was like, I want to jump. I want to jump again. He said, okay, come on.
The confidence of Jada is it's extreme because she wants to be great.
When you enter new places and people are taking risk on you, you know, you have to prove yourself to them. And Coach McLean definitely reignited my desire to just kind of soar after those dreams and those aspirations that I always believed that I could achieve.
Jada fell in love with the sport all over again, thanks to a new atmosphere at App State. The sport was no longer something she felt like she had to do, but instead wanted to do.
I competed on one of the biggest stages thus far in my career, and that's at the United States Track and Field Championships for both indoor and outdoor. So I've competed with people that I used to study all the time when I was in high school when I first started out. I always knew that like I could be where they're at. I can be competitive with them. Like they're where they're at because of their work ethic and because of their drive, and I look up to that. They're where they're supposed to be at, and I'm where I'm supposed to be at. Until that time comes, be very driven, continue to be very driven to, you know, striving to get to that same caliber.
We saved the best for last, one of the most historic moments in the history of sports scene in the high country.
And it doesn't involve App State football. The home center was rockin' when Power 5 school Auburn came to town to play a little basketball. They left as students rushed the court to celebrate the David versus Goliath story. It's a slam dunk story, so don't go away.
App State is not only a football school. Basketball made history recently in the high country.
That's right. We've made it to the NCAA tournament before, and who says we can't do it again?
But the biggest factor in all of it is when Auburn came to town. The power of the sixth man, the Mountaineer Menace.
A sellout crowd had Holmes rockin', and I got the story. When the final buzzer sounded after a slugfest versus Auburn, App State basketball made history on the mountain. But even before tip-off, the vibe at the Holmes Convocation Center was electric for App State and Auburn fans alike.
Try to go to some road games each year, saw Boone on the calendar. Knew Boone had to be the location we came to this year. Drove up Friday, been around the town hanging out, great food, great people. We've been loving it. We've been loving it.
I don't think I've ever been to a sold-out basketball game at App State. and I'm very, very excited. I know our student section's going to go crazy. We got the guys in the bibs, and we've got a couple costumes out there. I know we're going to hold it down over here next to the Auburn section. I think they're in trouble. I think their fans are in trouble, that's for sure.
With some help from the Auburn faithful, a passionate black and gold crowd scored the first sellout for the arena since 2009. And now App State head coach Dustin Kearns believes that same excitement surrounding the basketball program could be a consistent thing.
I think we're just getting started, and I think that's what I hopefully feel like the students and our fans see too. Hopefully they came today and, you know what, I want to come next week. It doesn't matter now. App State's playing. And I think that's where our football team's been beneficial is they get this type of environment, home atmosphere every game because App State's playing. App State's playing on Tuesday. This can happen more often. These kind of wins because of the environment really helped us today.
The other thing that helped, stellar play from newly acquired transfer guard Miles Tate and returning guard Terrence Harcum. Thanks to them, App State would go on to beat Auburn 69-64.
I'm glad that the town, the people, and the fans were able to come to the game, and moving forward, that's going to help put more people in the seats for us. So that was big for us. We appreciate everybody who came, and we hope it's going to be like that more, just coming up in the season and even in the future years. I wanted to keep going just like that.
Every game will condition this App State basketball team for its run at the Sun Belt Conference title. Those games heat up in the month of January. But either way, an electrifying atmosphere and an astounding win against Auburn mean a promising future for App State basketball in the High Country. Noah Cornelius, AWN.
There's no shortage of sporting events going around in the High Country.
Jumping into action is Lees McRae's men's volleyball team as they will travel to Penn State to take on the Nittany Lions.
They won't be the only ones traveling as the Lees McRae's track and field teams will head to Winston-Salem for the Mondo College Invitational.
And are you ready for some hoops in the High Country? Watauga High School will continue conference play against Alexander Central at home.
A week later, the Pioneers will remain home for a rivalry game against Ashe County Huskies. Crossing over to the Mountaineers, there is a nonstop Sun Belt action, including a doubleheader as the women's team will host Georgia Southern.
And shortly after, the red-hot men's team will take on Coastal Carolina for Heroes Day at home at Holmes.
Following the doubleheader, App State men's basketball will take on Georgia Southern at home as well. The last episode, he covered his favorite thing about the holiday, and before that, he gave his opinion on App State football. Micah is our guy for everything opinionated, and now he's going to give us his take on the whole wave of basketball enthusiasm.
I call it another miracle on the mountain. The men's basketball team win over Auburn was stunning, but more importantly was the effect the crowd had on the game. Watching from afar, I could tell the crowd had an impact on the game. Those that were there told me the same thing. In my time at App State, I've had the pleasure of witnessing the Mountaineers knock off many powerhouse programs, but this one was different. The App State men's basketball team win over Auburn was one of the greatest in program history because typically the upsets come on the football field. Some buddies I'm graduating alongside of also said it was one of the greatest experiences they ever had at App State. The atmosphere in the Holmes Convocation Center was electric, and this serves as an incentive for students and fans alike to continue to pack Holmes through the remainder of the season. As always, roll Nears, but in this case, take stairs.
I like it, but you know what? I bet Micah would have gone up those stairs faster if we told him Sean Clark was behind him.
Maybe. He did have a bit of a pep in his step, but it's nice to see Micah taking a positive glance at a sporting event.
Well, I can't believe it's winter, and many of us are graduating at App State. Congratulations to all, and thank you to everyone in the High Country for believing in us, because we love the mountains.
But before we go, there are a lot of other people who make the show possible. I know you usually only see who's on camera, but look at all those gorgeous, happy faces in the studio.
Yeah, you know, these people have been giving their all for App TV for this entire semester. We've had a new professor come in Bob Dillner, and we've had 7 people on our crew. The average is at least over 10. So we've done a lot with a little, and I'm proud to say that I was a part of this program.
Yep. So thanks for watching AWN. Stay warm this winter, and as always, we'll see you next episode.